Thanks to Eddie's Life on YouTube, found a speedometer calibrator that worked. Hypertech part number 752504. It's actually for a Jeep, but it worked absolutely perfect on this. See, 66 miles an hour. GPS verified 66 miles an hour. It was almost 15 miles an hour off before I corrected it. Now the tranny's shifting a lot happier and everything's meshing very well. Truck drives a lot smoother. Balancing 41-inch tires on steel wheels is not easy. A friend of mine, James, road traveler, suggested these. I was a little bit skeptical, to be honest. Pulled the trigger because he knows what he's talking about. They install very easily. They slide right over the studs. You can hear it's a snug fit. Didn't get the best footage putting them on. They slide right over the hub. You can hear the medium in there. That's what balances it. This was a night and day difference, both front and rear. Putting them on the rear is the same. They slide right over the studs. The wheel weights that the tire shop installed, they did work, but I had some vibrations in the rear. I wasn't sure if it was just the nature of the tire tread or the balance. The transformation putting these on was absolutely night and day. I paid full price, not sponsored or anything. Just amazingly happy with these things. Definitely suggest them for big, giant tires. Can't run beads because I want to run the pressure sensors, and beads don't work with pressure sensors. So this was my only option, and I'm glad I went with it. Alright, pain in my ass. The Dodge-Offroad track bar. These bushings are too wide to fit into the 2020. Those are called misalignment bushings. Both ends, the bushings are too wide. So basically you adjust this after you lift the vehicle to get the axle centered. Right now, well, before this it was sitting about an inch to the driver's side. Obviously can't align it like that. Had to pull these bushings out. You can see they're different heights. The one on the right is the proper size. The one on the left is too thick. No idea why they send them like this. Yeah, the difference is totally noticeable right there. So basically I needed 4 bushings to mimic that one. So they came with 2 of each. So basically that's how it should sit and how it should work. The wide bushings, maybe the earlier trucks have a bigger bracket. I don't know. It did not work for these. This was quite a frustrating, long drawn out process for a very simple modification. I didn't like how little shank was actually going into the tie rod, so I bought a new Heim joint with a longer shank. Fits perfectly. It was from Barnes 4-wheel drive. Now I have about 1.5 inches into the drag link. Feels a lot safer, better peace of mind. You can see above, that's how much was going into the drive length. I was not comfortable with that. Got it installed. Took about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Pretty easy. I did it without even jacking up the truck. Adjusted it. Basically, axle was sitting 1 inch, so just made this 1 inch longer. It split the difference. Mounted right up. Just turned the steering wheel a little bit to align it. Popped right into place. Gonna wait to get in alignment after I put the bumper and the winch on. friend Chris from Lost Borough. He's going to be doing some work here. So right now we flexed it up to see how much the frame flexes to design the subframe. If you watch this closely, the suspension is not moving whatsoever. This is all frame flex on the cabin chassis. I think he measured almost 24 inches total that the frame flexed with that wheel before the other one came off the ground. Suspension is barely moving. It's pretty eye-opening to see how big, thick truck frame. I want to say it's 3/8 steel. The C channel just flexes an amazing amount compared to a boxed frame. So we're doing this basically when he designs the subframes. So the subframe's going to move with the frame flex, so that way the panels won't crack. It's called a captive spring mount. I think it is going to be a total of 6 mounted points. It's cool I could change my brake pads without taking a tire off. Man, that looks so much better without the chrome. Watch the frame go back to straight. It's pretty crazy. This wasn't needed for any measurements. I just wanted to see how much the front end would move. It didn't really move much at all. That's still the rear frame mostly. Obviously it's going to change with the bumper and winch weight on it, but not all that much articulation right now. I'm going to try to find some softer springs. There you can see the rear frame. Still most of the articulation here. Yep, Centramatic and Hypertech. Bumper and everything should be here today, so hopefully all that